Here's a couple of the key principles around testing. Firstly, that field and lab testing is a tool. You've got to be considering the 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 kit that you have available, the protocols that you could put in place as a tool to answer questions. You're fortunate as physiologists that you kind of come with something that's identifiable, and that's where the stuff happens in the lab. The S&C coaches in the gym. Psychologists don't have that, but the advantage of that for a physiologist and an S&C coach is that it feels as though they're getting something, they're investing in a process. The advantage for people or disciplines that don't have that is that they're not constrained by it. And so you've got to be thinking about field and lab testing as not the totality of what you do and what you can offer. And equally, if you let that testing become, I guess, the very essence or the default for everything you do, you'll become a technician. Not that a technician role is a derogatory term, but you'll just be there to sort of step through those tests and nothing more. You won't be considered as an expert in this area that you can influence. Remember that early matrix that we talked about in terms of your ability to get to impact. If you only ever reside in the process, then there's a limitation to the effect that you can have, and therefore the utilization of your knowledge. And so, using testing is simply a vehicle to answer the questions with greater certainty. In a research setting, it's completely different in terms of testing hypotheses. But here we're talking about performance-based questions to get greater certainty from which you can prescribe and advise. So the tools are there for you, and that's an advantage for you, but they should be there to answer what determines performance. They should be there to answer what's the effectiveness of training been. They should be there to answer, are we seeing adaptation, and questions about the capacity or the capability of performing on the day. And so these are the questions that we might be answering with the tools that we have at our disposal.